And we are live. Thank you. I will try to do my best to share this with everybody, but I would do this on my phone, but my phone is doing something right now because I have just created a brand new show I've done over the weekend. Well, technically over the last part of the week. So hopefully that we will get to probably might get back to that. But if the volume's better here or you can understand me a lot clearer here, leave a comment down below. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, click that bell. Leave me positive feedback because with this story, if you say anything, hold up, let me get to that right now. Okay. Uh Yep. So any negative comment, as it says right here, it will get you, you know, blocked. So I'm trying to get it to go across. I used to. Okay, I'm gonna do something right now, but it's totally not anything to do with this. Okay. Okay. I want to see that I get it now. So okay, I have no idea why I'm having you. Okay. Anyway, you get the gist. Any negative comments will be blocked. So yeah. Anyhow, with this story I wanted to tell. Okay, got it. Any negative opinion will be blocked. Thank you. Fine, I had to use one of my old because I have not done StreamYard in a very long time. So forgive me. Anyway, there's a particular story I really want to talk about, and this story has to do with my upbringing. And even though, like I said, that this story will be posted and I don't want no negative feedback whatsoever, there's one thing I lifted. This previous Sunday when I was at church, a good friend of mine, I probably will send her this video as well. She sung a good song that everybody has heard on the radio talking about, the goodness of God. And when we were singing it, I came over with so much emotions because I have lived through a lot of trauma that some people don't know about. Some people do know about it, but then some people don't know about it. When I was 6, 7 years old, I lived through abuse. I I was a product of child abuse. Well, not really. I was a product. I have had things done to me that has not happened to some people. I don't know if it has happened to some people, but this is my story. I moved with my mother when I was 6 years old. It was later in the fall, and she wanted to move to Atlanta, Georgia. I have no ill feelings or no ill will towards the city of Atlanta itself. It was just the people who I was surrounded by and the people who I had to deal with. Sorry if you hear noise, they're working. I you can hear through the walls. So so please don't hold that against me. But we moved with people who I did not know. In particular, I never met I knew some of the people because they used to live in our hometown, but then they moved to Atlanta for different reasons, and that's none of my business or whatever. At first, the move was okay. I started to, meet people, whatnot, but being a yellow person and got in like predominantly white neighborhood, you can have some challenges, but so far everything was okay. But right around my birthday, a lot of things, well, before my birthday in particular, things started to change. I started to notice that my mother didn't really, I wouldn't say, it's kind of like she kind of cared, but then she really didn't, because she was so much under them to the point to where she neglected her own children. So these guys, these boys, was bullying me, and this about the time. Well, this is way before I've learned about the repercussions of school shootings, and basically, I told the person I had a gun in my book bag, even though, like I said, I was 6 years. I was actually 7 now. I didn't know anything about that, about school shootings, and I remember the principal talked to me and whatnot, and I thought everything was okay. Then come to find out, because you get you say stuff, you get a referral, and I remember I gave it to somebody else, and by the time I got home, one of the people who we were staying with, boyfriend, was there. He was fixing something out, and I remember I was like, "Blank, what are you doing?" And he basically said, "Well, oh yeah, I got to talk to you." And like I said, I never met this man before. I never dealt with this man before. And basically, I remember we went upstairs. I sat down on the bed, and he went into their room. Next thing I know, he had a paddle, and he turned me over, and he started beating me with the paddle. And he stopped for a little while, and he asked me, like, "Where's that paper?" And I'm like, I remember I was like, I gave it to somebody else, to one of those guys, and he flipped me over again, and he beated me with the paddle. The bruises on my butt was so severe to the point it was hard for me to sit. Like, I literally had to go get ice. It's kind of like my butt had like huge like marks on it, red marks. Because I remember I told the teacher the following day I couldn't sit down, and I had to get ice, and that happened. And I remember when my mother came home, no comfort, whatever. But the thing is, I couldn't believe that she allowed this person who I didn't know to do some harm to the person she gave life to. And she was completely okay with it. But since I had the bruises on my behind, the school had to call DSS, and they had to open up a case. Because you all know, when you go through, school calls, they noticed it. Because I remember the nurse had to see my behind, and then she noticed those marks, and she had to have called DSS, and that went from there. And apparently, since I had made that threat about the gun in my backpack, my mother ended up going to jail. I don't know if that was the full reason why she went to jail, because of me or what, but it kind of, I had stayed with the social worker for like maybe 3 hours at the max, and the person who we lived with came and got me, and basically trash talked me the whole ride home, basically saying, I cannot believe that a 7-year-old put his own mother in jail. And the next day, she came and got me after school and basically trash talked me again, saying she had to go get my mother out of jail and whatnot, and basically telling me I would never see, South Carolina again. But let me take a step back before that day. I remember I was in my room feeling sorry for myself because I think to this day I still have that inkling of, if something don't go wrong, something goes wrong, it's my fault. And I felt like I haven't dealt with that demon yet, because I think from how that person belittled me so bad by, being there and whatnot, the person really beat it that in me, and it really made me have like real bad self-esteem issues, and that kind of carries to this day. But I could say it's getting better, but there's still some times where we're all still growing. I'm still growing and things like that. So it's not an issue. And then after, I remember she got her home, because my mother, she grounded me. I had to stay locked up in the room, no cartoons, no nothing. Things like a normal punishment. Well, for a 7-year-old at that time, because this was 2006. So she was upset with me because of the things that happened again, and mostly I think she blamed me for her going to jail. Once again, goes back to the, feeling sorry for myself that I actually had to deal with this. And then after that, I I remember I ran up the stairs. I went up the stairs, and the person who got her out of jail basically came up to me. She was like, "So you talking back to your mother?" And she literally jacked me up by my shirt and had me hanging over the rails. I almost like she was going to drop me. And thank God she did, because if she would have dropped me, I probably would not be here right now, because there was a two-story house. There was the main floor. Then actually no, the house was pretty big, so we just leave with that, because I know there was the basement, the main floor, someone's room, then the other bedrooms, the master bedroom, the guest bedroom, and things like that. So after that, you know, as a normal 7-year-old, you cry because you don't know what's going on or how that this has happened to you. So basically, afterwards, I thought everything was okay, because I think that's why sometimes, even to this day, I still be like, oh, we're okay, we're all good, things like that. And I'll never forget, it was a Saturday, and I had tried to open up the blinds, to get some sunlight in, because sometimes when it be Saturday and it be so beautiful, the sun be out and everything, and you just want that gorgeous sunlight in. But the blind accidentally fell, and my mother, she wasn't home, so she took her frustrations out on me, and she kicked me down the stairs. But I think by the time the blisters on my behind was okay, but she kicked me downstairs because she was angry with me because the blind fell, even though it wasn't my fault. And yeah, so with that one, it was very hard, because like, your mother always supposed to protect you, your mother always supposed to be there for you, but this was a person who I've never seen before. Like, it felt like she had so much hatred towards me for some odd reason, and it was kind of hard to deal with that. So after that, I remember because my sister, she's autistic, and she was trying to find some doctor for her. And I mean, we basically drove all over Atlanta, and I think we even left Fulton County. I think we went to Cobb at that time, and she couldn't find that particular doctor she was looking for my sister. But anyway, I remember they had got some food. They got some food from Popeyes. Back in the day, Popeyes was very good. Right, but right now it depends on where you go. And I remember that they had got themselves some food, and I had to eat frozen broccoli and cheese from the freezer because I was still on punishment because I couldn't, you know, eat. So basically, every day, every night, I had to stay locked up in that room. And next, I remember it was Thanksgiving, and you know when Thanksgiving people come, family come, even some friends come, Friendsgiving, whatnot. And I remember that these people from Florida came. This was before Florida went absolutely bonkers. And basically they were gonna try to ship me off with them. With people I don't even know. I don't know why they kept trying to pass me off to people I don't know. So for them to do that to me, it was kinda, you know, challenging. But anyway, we went over to one of our neighbors' house, me and someone, because there was a younger guy that lived there at the time. He went with me to one of the houses, and I basically remember the person being very upset that we went to that house, and basically she gave us a whooping because sometimes we be in a place you shouldn't. Yeah, I we ended up getting a whooping, but after that, I remember it was right. It was right after Thanksgiving and whatnot. It was December 1st. Well, before December 1st, I think it was November 30th. I was doing something and I accidentally burnt myself. And basically, instead of getting comfort for me burning myself by accident, all I got was, "You better not tell nobody I did it because I'll beat you behind." Basically, saying to me, and for a 7-year old to hear that, it was hard and quite challenging. So that's where the child abuse bit technically in, because we've got taken away from my mother, and now there have been some scars that have been left on me, because there always that time of, if I do somebody wrong, I try to hurry up and fix it and never just fully sit back and just weigh it out, just to weigh out all my options instead of jumping to the conclusion. But to this day, my mother still never have accepted responsibility for the things she has done, because in her eyes, she didn't do nothing wrong. I was the one who was being disorderly. I was the one being wrong and everything like that. But the fact of the matter is, I was a 7-year-old kid who didn't know any better. So the fact that you threw me away to the wolves and didn't protect me, it did a lot to me. And I hope whoever watches this can understand my pain, because now I have dealt with depression, ADHD, and have my moments of suicidal thoughts. But that's because of a lot of trauma that I've endured when I was younger. Because now, even to this day, it's still kind of hard for me sometimes to deal with people, because I don't know if they're going to do right by me, or they're going to do me wrong, or do things that could potentially hurt me in the long run. Because I can be closed off with people, and it's not because I'm a shy or very, very timid person. It's mainly because I just don't want to be hurt, and I don't want to continue to get hurt, because I never know anybody's true intention. So, if you know anyone who's suffering from any type of mental illness or anything like that, or anything, make sure that you check on that person, see how they're doing, because we all never know what anybody goes through. So we have to be very diligent as to when we're dealing with people. But anyway, this is my story. This is episode 3 of the 25 going on 50 podcast. Sorry I wasn't here last week. I was at home, but every day from now on, every week from now on, the stories will continue to come and we continue to talk about our topics or whatnot. So just leave a positive comment in the at the bottom, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.